Crazy at Home with Pastor Jon, with your host, the guy who is going crazy at home, whose name is also Pastor Jon. How interesting. All right, guys, so we are continuing our conversation on how to deal with our emotions. Because as we've been learning, they are some powerful stuff. We can make things so much worse or so much better by just learning how to deal with our emotions. If we deal with them bad, we can make them worse. If we deal with them good, we make them better. And today is an emotion I know we've all been there and felt and really felt like we needed some help. So before we get talking about all that, let's check out what Susanna and Skip are up to. Let's check it out now.
Hey Skip, how's it going? Did you get that toilet situation fixed?
Suze. Toilet situation? We don't have time for your bathroom humor today. I expected more from you.
What? No, Skip, don't you remember? The pipes are broken and now the toilet is out of order. If we try to use it, it will literally explode, like water everywhere.
Never fear, I just need to brush up.
Maybe we should call a plumber?
Nah, I got this.
Okay, well, I wouldn't wait too long if I were you. It's the only toilet in the building, and if it's not working, that could spell trouble.
Suze, you worry too much. It'll get done.
I'm counting on you. We don't have a lot of time.
But really, what is time? Plus, I just need to finish a few things around here. Like this Zing Cola. 128 ounces of pure deliciousness. Now, this Minecraft tower isn't going to build itself. And if I had to choose between Minecraft and a toilet, well, that's a no-brainer. Oh man, okay. So, that 128 ounces of cola is kind of sneaking up on me. Skip, mind over matter. Think about something that doesn't have to do with what needs to happen. Like, I don't know, waterfalls or a big swimming pools or didn't work. Okay, time to do the dance. Not working either. I gotta do what I gotta do. This is not a good look. What have I done?
Oh no, Skip. I was gonna ask what happened, but I think I already know.
Suze, this is awful. Today was going so great. I had my Minecraft, a soda the size of my head. I was just kicking back, living my best life. Now this is the worst day ever. I just don't even say it. I know what you're gonna say. I told you so, Skip. You should have fixed the toilet, or at least tried to call a plumber. But that'll make me feel even worse.
Skip, I was gonna say I'm sorry you feel down. Yeah, you made a mistake, but I will help you get all cleaned up and it'll be good as new.
Really, Suze?
Really.
You know what would make me feel better? A hug.
Are you sure that's the only thing that will make you feel better?
Oh, come on, Suze. It's just a small gesture, and it would bring me so much comfort.
Okay. Hugs are the best. Give me 1 second. Okay, ready for that hug now.
Oh, foolish Skip. I've been there with the toilet seat around my head, but I was drinking out of it, not trying to fix it. Silly boy. Yeah, Indiana, I know all too well that you love drinking out of that toilet. Unfortunately, believe it or not, it's actually more normal to fix a toilet than it is to drink out of it. Can you guys imagine that? Crazy. So, what do you guys think Skip was feeling in that situation? Clearly, there was a lot going on, and Skip seems pretty upset or something. I don't know, but let's play our emoji identifier game to see if we can figure out what emotion he was feeling. Because the first step we have to do to dealing with our emotions is stop. Everyone say stop. So let's stop and figure out what emotion Skip was feeling. All right, guys, it's time to identify what emotion Skip was feeling in this video. So, like we've done before, you guys got to check out the emojis and you got to make the same face as the emotion you think that Skip was feeling. All right, let's figure it out. Let's think about it. All right, 3, 2, 1, make the face. All right, let's see the answer. It is sad. Yeah, Skip was definitely feeling pretty upset about everything that happened and needed someone there to comfort him. All right, let's get back over. So we figured out that Skip was feeling sad, or he was feeling really upset, right? He felt like he let everyone down. He felt like he let Susanna down, and he really needed to be comforted. Can anyone think of a time where maybe they felt upset and they felt like they needed to be comforted? Has anyone ever been there when you were so sad and you were just looking for someone to try and make you feel better? I want you guys to think about a time where you were really, really sad and you were just looking for someone to comfort you and make you feel better, and how good it felt when someone came along, and if someone didn't. Because we've all been there, I'm sure too, where sometimes we're sad and we feel upset and maybe nobody's around right at that moment. Maybe mom or dad, or maybe you're at school and mom and dad are home and you gotta wait till you get home to feel that comfort or feel that good feeling of when someone's making you feel better. But until someone's there to make you feel better, it can be pretty rough when you're feeling sad and upset, like Skip was. So while you guys are thinking of a time like that, I'm going to ask a couple of my friends to see maybe if there was any times that they needed to be comforted when they were upset. Let's check it out.
I only get sad when I think about how there's only one of me. Like, I think about how lucky you are to get to know me, and I think about how I can ever meet someone as amazing as me, because no one is as amazing as the cat. So it's very sad.
What is this upset sadness? Hoopy only knows being happy. See?
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I think the cat actually gave a better answer than Hooper there. I mean, I believe that Hooper is simple-minded enough to never feel sadness, but the cat actually gave a reason for when he's upset, as crazy as that reason was, but, whatever. So, anyway, we've all been there where Skip was feeling upset, right? We've all been in that situation. And we know that if we don't learn how to deal with those emotions, especially being upset, that we can miss out on a lot of things and we can make it worse. For example, Skip thought his entire day was going to be ruined by what just happened. But if he would have done the steps that we have to take, then he would have been able to see that his entire day wasn't ruined. It was just a bad thing, but there was plenty of things to help him get over and get past what just happened. So the first thing he should have done, right, is stop. If he would have stopped and dealt with how he was feeling, he would have been able to look, right? That's our second step. Look around and see, you know what? Maybe the situation isn't as bad as he thought it was, right? He thought his entire day was ruined, but in reality, he had a friend there in Susanna who was there to comfort him, make him feel better, and help him in the situation. All he had to do was get dried up and maybe take a shower, and he'd be all clean and fix that whole situation of being covered in toilet water. And he had the whole rest of the day to enjoy to get over what just happened. So the entire day wasn't ruined, right? So all he had to do was stop, look around, and then the final one was listen. Because no matter how bad a situation is, no matter how upset we feel, we always have the last step to think about, and that's to listen. And that's listening to the blueprint of our life, which is God's word. And God's word teaches us that in moments when we're upset, where we feel trouble, where we feel sad, we have God there who loves us, and God is actually called our comforter. Did you guys know that's one of the things that we call God? He is our comforter, meaning a person or something that comforts us. He loves comforting his children. We are his friends. We are his sons. We are his daughters, and he loves making you feel better. But sometimes we can ignore what God wants to do because we're so just thinking about how sad and upset and how unfair a situation might be, that we can completely push off God and stop him from being able to comfort us. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy, but at the same time, all of us do it because we've all been in the situation where we're so upset that we can't think about anything else. That's why it's so important to remember to do these steps so we can stop, look, and then be able to listen to God so that he can comfort us in moments where we're upset. So we're going to take a look at a Bible story that's proof of this. You guys might remember this Bible story. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. And a lot of people know this Bible story. It's a pretty popular one. But I want you guys to pay attention, help it remind you of some things, and then pay attention to the end. Because we didn't exactly talk about the end, and it focuses on how this person really felt in that situation and how God comforted them. Let's check it out.
Hey everybody, listen up. Here's what God has to say.
Aw, yeah. What you got for us today?
Today we're talking about when we feel down.
Oh, that's the worst feeling. Like when you get a bad grade or your brother knocks over your Lego tower? The one that took over a week to build?
When you're feeling down, you can remember it's not the end of the world. God is always there to comfort you. This reminds me of a guy in the Bible named Jonah and how God comforted him when he was feeling down in the dumps.
Oh man, did his best friend move away? That would make me feel pretty upset.
That would be hard to deal with. Jonah was down because he didn't want to do something that God had asked him to do. God asked him to go to a place called Nineveh and tell the people living there to stop being bad.
Makes sense. Get them to stop being bad. Like, hey guys, cut it out! Done and done. Easy.
Well, there was just one problem. Jonah didn't want to go to Nineveh. He knew the people there were not acting the way that they should, but instead of helping them, he thought they should be punished for their mistakes.
So what, he wanted God to like ground them or something?
Something like that. Instead of listening to God and going to Nineveh, Jonah took off in the opposite direction.
Oh no!
Oh yes, Jonah ran all the way to the sea, found a ship, and paid the captain to let him come aboard. Then Jonah found a place inside to lay down and take a nap.
Taking a snooze? Not listening to God must be pretty exhausting.
I'm not sure, but as soon as the boat left the shore, a very bad storm came up and started tossing the boat around.
Back and forth and back and forth. I bet there was lightning, crash, and thunder, and waves crashing over the boat.
Everyone was so afraid that they started to throw their stuff overboard in hopes that they wouldn't drown.
Overboard!
The captain went to find Jonah and said, "How can you sleep? Get up and pray to your God. Maybe he can help us." Meanwhile, the sailors decided that the storm was Jonah's fault.
They were probably all like, Jonah, what have you done? Make it stop.
Exactly. And Jonah told them, "I believe in the Lord, the God of heaven who made the sea and the land, and I am running away from something God asked me to do. It's my fault this is happening. If you throw me into the sea, the storm will stop."
Speaking of stops, stop right there. Are you saying that Jonah told the sailors to throw him off the boat? I mean, I get it that Jonah probably felt down because he was putting these men in this storm, but that's crazy talk.
You heard me right. The men didn't want to do it, but after praying, they knew they had to. They picked up Jonah and threw him into the water. Instantly, the storm was over and the sea became still.
So that's the end of Jonah?
No way! Get this! When they threw Jonah off the boat, he was swallowed up by a great big fish. Isn't that crazy? God actually sent the fish to keep Jonah from drowning, and he stayed in the fish for 3 days and 3 nights.
Oh man, that's comforting, but I can't even imagine. No windows and covered in disgusting fish guts for 3 whole days? Yuck!
While Jonah was inside the fish, he did a lot of praying and said, "When my life was nearly over, I remembered you, Lord. My prayer rose up to you. You are the one who saves." Then God told the fish to spit Jonah out onto dry land.
Bleh! I bet Jonah was happy to be out of that fish. He probably needed the longest shower in the history of showers.
Then the Lord told Jonah a second time to go to Nineveh and tell the people there to stop being bad.
Please tell me he listened this
Oh,
time?
he sure did. Jonah obeyed God and left for Nineveh right away. When Jonah got there, he told the people to stop doing bad things or their city would be destroyed. To Jonah's surprise, the people listened and the city was saved.
And they all lived happily ever after. The end.
Well, that could be the end of the story, except Jonah left the city feeling down. He was upset that God didn't punish them all. So Jonah went on a hill and sulked. When God saw Jonah, he knew how Jonah was feeling and comforted him. God explained to Jonah that he loves everyone and would rather see people turn from their bad ways and do good again.
So God comforted Jonah when he was feeling down?
Yep, and he'll comfort us too, no matter what we're going through.
Even in the belly of a fish?
Even in the belly of a fish. Because when we're feeling down, God comforts us.
Dad, I'm gonna be honest. I think they tell stories better than you because last time you told the story, I was listening and stuff, but they got all those fun pictures and stuff. Those guys are just the best.
Well, that's just not right. Father, I love your stories, but I must say, it is quite interesting to think about how Jonah felt so bad for doing the wrong thing. I mean, I know I feel so bad about what I just did. What I did a while ago.
Yeah, it's good to know that, if I ever did anything I did feel bad about, that, God would forgive me like that and comfort me, but thankfully, I never feel bad about anything, so I don't need that comfort, but it's nice to know that it's there.
Yeah, I knew the good answers wouldn't last with you, Kat. And, Indy, you're lucky you had my back, or else maybe I'd look into what you just accidentally admitted to. Anyway, so what did we see from that story? We saw a different perspective on Jonah and the whale, right? We never really took a look at what happened at the end of that story. After everything that Jonah did, how he must have felt. Did you guys ever think about that? That Jonah probably felt pretty stinky, right? I mean, he was supposed to be someone who always followed God. He was supposed to be somebody who said he loves God. And in that situation, the one time God asked him to do something, he let God down. And he must have been feeling pretty stinky about that. He must have been feeling pretty upset. But we saw that even when in a situation where Jonah probably deserved to feel upset, God still comforted him. You see, guys, that should remind us that if God comforted Jonah and came alongside Jonah and loved on him, then God will always come alongside you and love on you. Even when you mess up, even when you feel upset for those reasons, God still loves you and wants to comfort you and make you feel better. So that's our need to know for today. Our need to know is, so when I feel down, I want you guys to go like this. When I feel down, God comforts me. And I want you to hug yourself. When I feel down, God comforts me. All right, so take a look at the need to know right now. It says, when I feel down, God comforts me. When I feel down, God comforts me. That's what we have to remember. That's our need to know for today. All right, so I think since we serve a God who loves you and comforts you, the least we can do is worship him for a little bit. So let's do that right now.
With all my heart and soul, with all my mind and strength, will you show me, God, to love like you love me, so all the world will see. When things don't go my way, I'll talk to you, hear what you say, that's what I do. That's loving you. Trust that you'll turn it around, that's what I do. That's loving you. I will love you, God, with all my heart and soul, with all my mind and strength. Will you show me, God, to love like you the world will see. I will love you, God, with all my heart and soul, with all my mind and strength. Will you show me, God, to love like you love me, so all the world will see.
All right, everyone, that's our show for today. I hope you had a great time, and I hope you remember that no matter what you go through, God will always comfort you. I love you guys. I miss you guys, and hope to see you soon. I'll see you later.